What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Black Sabbath and their 1970 album Paranoid. Thank you again to Han Solo. And the next track is Iron Man. And I wasn't thinking about this song when I began this deep dive, but I do actually know this song, and I've heard it a number of times. And I'm well aware the character Iron Man of the song is not related to the Marvel comic books character, much less the Robert Downey Jr. MCU character, though to be fair, at the end of the first Iron Man movie, they play this in the end credits, which, obviously that's a clever move. But yeah, I remember hearing this among some of my friends who were into metal, and I don't even know if those friends had the larger Sabbath catalog, or if it was just this song and maybe a couple others. But yes, I remember hearing this a number of times. And I even have some memory of the lyrics, maybe not the lines specifically, but if I'm recalling correctly, it's this seemingly larger than life, maybe even mystical type of figure who apparently traveled through time and he tried to save a bunch of people, or maybe he did save a bunch of people, perhaps mankind more generally, but that they sort of disregarded him or devalued him and maybe even cast him out or cast him down, and eventually he's plotting on taking revenge, and he's going to wreak his havoc and his vengeance on all those who have mistreated him or disregarded what he did. That's my memory of it. As I said, I can't recall many of the lines specifically. Obviously there's the main guitar riff, which is it's like the center of everything in the song, and definitely something that I think is very much in the popular culture. But yes, ultimately I am curious to see what I can catch with the lyrics, because I have some memory of the general story, but maybe I'm misrecalling some of that, and maybe there's more to it, even if what I said is essentially running in the right direction. So let's give it a listen. This is Black Sabbath. The song is Iron Man, and it's from their 1970 album Paranoid. Oof. Wow. So both sonically and lyrically, more than I was remembering, but essentially what I was remembering. Now, sonically, the faster part, roughly in the middle of the track, and then that last like instrumental ride out, I wasn't thinking about, I wasn't recalling those parts as clearly as the main, slower, kind of heavy, like what's the right word, primary configuration of the track and that main riff. And there's definitely some other guitar riffs and lines along the way, but that main big one to the melody that the lyrics are sung in, that definitely is like the defining feature of the tune. But yeah, I really enjoy when it got faster and the long kind of guitar solo, which again, like, there's definitely that like hard rock metal vibe here, but there's still like that blues rock sound, especially in the guitar work. And I enjoyed the way the bass was really pulsing along with the guitar when it was doing that shredding, that soloing. But yeah, it's like, it feels like hard rock blues, like somewhere in there is where this one is. And definitely the lyrics were what I was recalling. I mean, a lot of those moments, like I remember, yeah, he's a time traveler, and I remember people are passing him by, not paying him a second notice, and essentially acting like they don't need him, and that he saved people before, but now is going to unleash a vengeance, and he's going to get his revenge. I didn't remember, though, the like, you know, is he alive or dead? Does he have thoughts in his head? Can he speak? Like, there's this question of what exactly he is, and by the end it's saying like he lives again, so it's like as if he did die going through this ordeal, and maybe, you know, he's coming alive again because of, you know, mystical powers specifically to get that revenge. Also that like he's coated in steel having gone through, was it an electric field or something? That's like more specific than I was remembering. And again, it suggests like somewhere between like a mystical meets sci-fi type of dynamic. But either way, like it has this air of like a classic mythology, but like, you know, in the like modern era, in the 20th century, in the like, you know, sci-fi sort of storytelling. But yeah, it definitely feels like some like parable of, you know, mistaken or like a lack of appreciation incurring this vengeful streak. So yeah, I enjoy the way the track plays out. And although it seems clear, or not it seems clear, it's not entirely clear, you know, what the vengeance is it like total planetary annihilation, is it, you know, human immolation, like what his revenge will actually look like in practice. But yeah, I definitely enjoy the imagination that what is there allows. And again, Ozzy's voice sounding great. He really did have an incredible voice, and ultimately I kind of knew that going into this deep dive, including from this track, though as I said, I knew this one from my friends back in the day, but it's been a long time since those days, and even since I saw the first Iron Man movie and then, you know, heard it, or the first MCU Iron Man movie. I actually don't know like what other theatrical productions they may have made of that Marvel character before that, but yeah, again, I remember when the credits started, I was like, oh, of course they would use this song. But that movie was what, like '08 or something, and I've seen it since then, certainly, but I'd say probably not more recently than like, I don't know, 2017, something like that, so it's probably been about a decade. But nevertheless, again, it's a classic tune. Even if you don't know like Black Sabbath more generally, I feel like this is one that a lot of people know. So cool to re-experience it now. Once again, thank you to Han Solo for the Black Sabbath material. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.